say, if you forget, just look at me. Hmm?
Mary, Queen of heaven and earth, why do we say Mary is our Queen? Mary has told us herself, because he that is mighty has done great things to me, and holy is his name, and he is her Son, Jesus, and Jesus is God. He always was God, and always will be, even before he was born. When the angel came to Mary while she was still a young girl and told her a secret.
Hail, Mary. Hail, full of grace. The Lord is with thee. I am Gabriel, who stands in the presence of the Lord. Fear not, Mary, for you have found grace with God. Behold, you shall conceive in your womb and bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Jesus.
How shall this be done? Because I know not man.
The Holy Spirit shall come upon you, and the power of the Most High shall overshadow you. And the Holy which shall be born of you shall be called the Son of God.
The Son of God?
Behold, your cousin Elizabeth, she also hath conceived a son in her old age, and this is the 6th month with her that is called barren.
Son of God? My son?
Because no word shall be impossible with God.
Behold the handmaid of the Lord. Be it done to me according to thy word.
Right from the beginning, Mary did what God wanted her to. He wanted her to be the mother of Jesus, and she said she would. He must have wanted her to visit her cousin Elizabeth, because that's the next thing she did. She rode down all the way from Nazareth on a donkey, just to help her cousin.
Mary! Elizabeth.
Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb.
It has been revealed to you, Elizabeth.
As soon as your greeting sounded in my ears, the child in my womb leaped for joy. How have I deserved to be thus visited by the mother of my Lord?
I am but his handmaid. My soul does magnify the Lord, and my spirit hath rejoiced in God my Savior, because he hath regarded the humility of his handmaid. For behold, from henceforth all generations shall call me blessed. Because he that is mighty hath done great things to me, and holy is his name. And his mercy is from generation unto generations to them that fear him.
That's when Mary told us God had done great things to her, and we would always call her blessed, forever and ever, the way the angel did. And the way the angel did, and the way we do in the Hail Mary when we say, blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Her little baby was born in Bethlehem on the first Christmas. That's another reason Mary is our queen, because her son was a prince, the Prince of Peace. And when he was just a month old, Mary and Joseph took him up to the temple in Jerusalem to present him to God, his real father. That's where they met Simeon, the old man who had been promised by God he would not die until he had beheld the Messiah. Simeon was so happy to see them that he cried. And then God, who had inspired him to recognize Jesus, spoke words of prophecy through Simeon. But they were not happy words.
And thy own soul a sword shall pierce, that the thoughts of many hearts shall be revealed.
Mary knew what Simeon meant, because she knew that Jesus had been born to die, so that all of us can go to heaven. But she did what God wanted. She took Jesus home and raised him. And for a long time, he was just like any other boy. And then, when Jesus was 12 years old, almost grown up, and when he was 12 years old, Mary and Joseph took Jesus to Jerusalem. But on their way home, they found he wasn't with the caravan, and they were frightened. So they went back to the city to look for him. The longer they looked, the more frightened they became.
Mary.
We must keep looking. Can this mean his time has come so soon? My son.
Mother.
My son. My son.
And when they had all been reunited and hugged and kissed one another, Mary asked Jesus a question, because she thought he was still just a little boy.
Son, why hast thou done so to us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing.
How is it you sought me? Did you not know that I must be about my Father's business?
And even though Mary and Joseph wondered at his words, they realized that Jesus was growing up, and that someday the time would come when they couldn't take him home to Nazareth anymore. But that was years later. By then, Jesus was a man, and everywhere he went, he helped people, and the people loved him because they could see how good he was. And then, one night in Jerusalem, he went to a garden to pray because he knew that the hour had come for him to die.
My Father, if this chalice may not pass away, but I must drink it, thy will be done.
When the mob led by Judas had come to take our Lord away, St. Peter tried to fight them, but Jesus would not allow that.
Peter, put up thy sword into its place. Think you that I cannot ask my Father, and he will give me presently more than 12 legions of angels? Am I not to drink the chalice which my Father has appointed for me?
So Jesus let the mob take him prisoner, and they beat him and beat him. And on his head, they put a crown of thorns, And then they condemned him to death and made him carry a cross up a long hill. And Mary saw it happen. He that was mighty, the fruit of her womb, dying before her eyes, so that all of us can live with him in heaven.
Woman, behold thy son. Son, behold thy mother. Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit.
They crucified him at noon, and he died 3 hours later. And after he'd been taken down from the cross, Mary held him, remembering the night she first took his infant body in her arms. That was Bethlehem, and this is Calvary. And Mary had kept her promise. Behold, the handmaid of the Lord. But long before he died, Jesus told the apostles that he would rise again, just as we will someday. And 3 days after he'd been laid in the tomb, he rose from the dead on Easter Sunday.
Get up! Get on your feet! By the gods, us!
For 40 days after, he stayed with Mary and the apostles, comforting and instructing them, until at last the time came when he must join his Father in heaven. And he went up to Mount Olivet.
Go ye into the world, and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, and he that believeth not shall be condemned.
long time after Jesus went to heaven, before Mary died, she saw the Holy Spirit descend upon the apostles, and she watched them go forth and teach all nations. And she helped in every way she could, because that was what God wanted. But finally, the day came when God wanted her to be with him in heaven. And the last person she spoke to was the apostle upon whom her son had said he would build his church.
Peter.
My lady.
Peter, your blessing. Thank you, Peter.
Mary, tell the Master that I love him.
He knows, Peter. He hears you each time you say it.
But it will please him more to hear it from your lips.
I will always tell my son anything you ask me to.
Mary's body was laid in the tomb, but it did not remain there, because her divine Son had taken her, body and soul, into paradise with him. And that is why we have crowned Mary with flowers today. She is our queen. God has made her our queen because she was his mother.